What's going on, everybody? My name's CakeyC and welcome back to the channel. Season 4 is officially out and it's here to stay with us for the next 8 weeks. So what are some of the things that came with the initial release and some of the things we can look forward to later on in the season? We're not going to go into any detail on the themes or how big the patch is or anything like that. I'm sure you all know it by now. I'm going to get straight into the video and we're going to have a look at some of the changes that have come to Call of Duty Warzone. So the main change that Season 4 brings to Warzone is the introduction of these new in-match events. And they make it pretty clear from the get-go that these events won't be something like we've seen in Fortnite, like a Travis Scott concert. These will be actual in-game events that will change the way you play that match. And I think they've come up with 3 quite interesting ideas, and let's have a quick look at them now. So the first one they describe is Jailbreak. And a jailbreak can occur at any given time in the mid-game match, and anyone who is dead and spectating, or anyone who is currently captured in the gulag, will be instantly released back onto the map. And this is just another second chance option for those people who have recently gone down and been thrown in the gulag, and for the people who have died and spectating, waiting to be brought back. But this is going to be good and bad. It's going to be good if you have a teammate down spectating, they're going to come straight back in. But it's also going to be bad if you're trying to fight a team that have a teammate down and they're going to come back in to help the fight. So I think this is going to be a very interesting event to occur in a match. The second event they describe is a fire sale. Now this is where everything at the buy station will either be discounted up to 80% or they'll be free. And they describe this will be a good time to pick up a UAV, armor box or some lethal kill streaks. And they do state that buying a teammate back will be completely free. So obviously this is going to be good for some of those teams that might not have landed in the best place and haven't got that much money, so they can actually afford some good stuff and get back on a level playing field. The one thing that instantly stood out to me is the fact that there's going to be multiple teams all rushing to the nearest buy station. And it's not uncommon to see the later circles only having 1 or 2 buy stations. If there's 10 teams, it's going to be absolute chaos trying to reach those buy stations. And I think that's kind of what they're going for here. The third event plays on that similar principle, and they are supply choppers. These choppers are non-lethal, but they will come in and they'll have increased armor and health, and you'll have to bring them down. And they describe the minimum loot you'll be able to get if you down one of these choppers and go get it. And the list is as follows: 3 UAVs, 2 armor boxes, 1 munitions box, a gas mask, grenade launcher, and tons of cash. This will be fantastic if you're the only team going for that chopper. But I'm sure that's not going to be the case, and there's going to be multiple teams fighting over the chopper, so this is going to be interesting to see how that plays out in Warzone. The other thing they've added to Warzone is a contraband contract system. Now if you complete a contract, there'll be a small chance where a contraband contract will spawn on top, and this will spawn a contraband briefcase that you will have to get to an extraction point. If you do this, you'll be rewarded with a permanent blueprint, which you can then cross over between Warzone and multiplayer, but the catch is if an enemy team come across you, they can actually take the briefcase off you. So a little bit like the access cards, if you get one, you have to hold onto it. So keeping on the topic of Warzone, let's have a quick look at the playlists that are in the current rotation for the initial release of Season 4. We have Battle Royale quads, trios, duos, solos, blood money, and the new playlist Warzone Rumble. It's kind of a crossover between Warzone and Ground War. Warzone Rumble plays like Ground War in the fact that you respawn, and the maps will be a limited area of Verdansk with the use of some vehicles. And then it'll be like Warzone in the sense that there's a higher player base, so there's 2 teams of 50, and it's like Warzone in the sense that it will be on the Warzone map. There's custom loadouts. When you spawn, you'll come in with a parachute, and you can't actually use any kill streaks. So it's kind of a hybrid between the two. Personally, I can't make up my mind on this playlist. If I want to play Ground War, I play Ground War. If I wanted to play Warzone, I'll play Warzone. Let me know what you think of Warzone Rumble down in the comments below. And along with these features, they've also rolled out a few little updates. I'll put them up on screen now, but there's not many, so I'll just run you through some of them. You can now pick up new weapons and blueprints from the ground loot, which is good. They've told us to look out for the new FENNEC, CR-56 AMAX, the Renettis, and some more stuff. I'll go into the new guns later on in the video. They've also fixed a bug where players were able to drop their weapons in the gulag, and an exploit where players were able to duplicate self-revive kits. Very annoying, I'm glad they've done that. And they've introduced a few more little Easter eggs to get through, but I'm holding back on some of them for now just to see how they pan out. And that's all we have for Warzone at the moment. I was expecting a sort of environmental change or something to happen to the map. So for now, downtown is still there, the dam is in one piece, and no nuke has gone off. So that's everything for Warzone. We can now cross over and have a look at multiplayer. So let's have a quick look at the Battle Pass. So the very first thing you unlock is the Captain Price skin. Fantastic skin, glad they brought it into the game, but currently being completely overused. You also unlock a fair amount of double XP throughout the early stages of the Battle Pass. And one of the more important things that you unlock quite early on into the Battle Pass is the FENNEC SMG. And we'll get onto the FENNEC after we finish looking at the Battle Pass. And you continue to unlock a few more guns and skins until you reach tier 31 and you unlock the CR-56 AMAX. So let's have a look at a few more things you'll unlock in the coming weeks. There's a nice sniper here, the Old Growth, quite a nice camo for the base gun, I quite like that. The Glacial Polish looks quite good, it's just the MP7 with a canted hybrid scope off, so that would obviously have to come off straight away, but all of the other base attachments look pretty good. So not a lot caught my eye until later on in the Battle Pass, until the Muck Rake. So I've had a chance to use this in Warzone, I picked it up off the ground loot. It's an okay sniper, but I don't think it competes with the HDR at the moment. And then at tier 85 you'll unlock a blueprint for the FENNEC. And this blueprint looks insane. I really like the camo, and the only thing that I would change is I'd probably take off sleight of hand and put on the larger 40 round mags. But that is a fantastic gun to use straight out of the metaphorical box. And then you continue to unlock more COD points and double XP, and then once you reach tier 100 you'll then unlock the Nightfall version of Captain Price, and then a legendary blueprint for the assault rifle Kilo. So we've seen there that there's 2 new guns introduced to the game. Before we get into that, there's also been a third weapon introduced, and these are the Cali sticks. But if you want to unlock the Cali sticks, you'll need to get 3 kills while sliding with the combat knife across 15 matches. As you can see at the time of recording this video, I'm actually about halfway through the tier level to unlocking the CR-56 AMAX. So unfortunately I can't give you any gameplay using this gun at the moment, but let me know down in the comments below if you want to see some CR-56 AMAX setups and gameplay, and we'll move straight on to the FENNEC. And I wanted to use this gun before I made any comments on it. So as you can see there, I've got just under 300 kills with this gun so far. So I haven't used it too much, but I have used it a little bit. And I'm going to be truthful, I'm going to give you my honest opinion on the FENNEC. This gun is absolutely broken. It's broken. It's insane. Absolutely insane. I'm not going to beat around the metaphorical bush here. The gun is unusable until you've unlocked a fair amount of attachments for it. The base gun is absolutely trash. I wouldn't wish using the base FENNEC on my worst enemies. It's horrendous. And without the double weapon XP being activated, leveling up this gun would just be so painful. But once you get through that barrier, the gun starts to improve, and it improves dramatically. You'll see in some of the gameplay where I didn't have these current attachments unlocked, and you'll kind of see the gun's a bit wobbly, the recoil's a bit all over the place, you run out of bullets extremely fast. So obviously we're only a few days in, but this is the build I'm currently running at the moment. This is the class I'm getting along with the most. So I'm using the ZLR Sabre muzzle, ZLR 16-inch Apex barrel. I do not get along with the iron sights on this gun, that's why I'm using the monocle reflex sight, just to open up that aiming space and give me a more accurate pinpoint place to shoot. On the underbarrel I used the Commando foregrip right up until I unlocked the Ranger foregrip, and I stuck that on straight away. And obviously I've been using the 40 round drum mags. Now this, guys, is absolutely essential for this gun. As soon as you unlock it, put it on. It's almost unplayable without these mags. The fire rate on this gun is absolutely insane, but there's always a bad side to that. The base mag's only 25 rounds and you will absolutely burn through it. But my first impressions, it's a fantastic SMG, especially at close range. At medium range it seems to be okay, and at long range it is pretty much useless. How can I get the most out of this gun? Obviously you want to put the right attachments on it. Once I'd unlocked a few of the stuff, I went straight on to hardcore. And this gun is completely dominant in hardcore. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of the FENNEC. And let's move on to the maps. So there's been 3 maps introduced into Modern Warfare in Season 4. And these are Barraquette Promenade, Trench and Scrapyard. And I'll do that in reverse order, and we'll start off with Barraquette Promenade. Now from my initial play of this map, it seems extremely long and a bit odd. And if you've played Warzone and you've landed in Promenade, you'll be familiar with the surroundings. So that's quite good. It's nothing new. You will know your whereabouts when you jump onto the map. It just feels like you and the enemy team are just chasing each other up and down a straight line. I don't play Ground War that often, but I'll certainly not be too happy if that map comes up in the rotation. So let's move on to Trench. It's very simple. There's 3 lanes with a couple of lanes where you can cross over between them all, and then you can climb up on top of the trenches and you can dart across the map that way if you want, and you'll see some of that in the gameplay now. So there's not really much to talk about. It's a couple of trenches, you get up on top, and if you quickly pick up on how you can get around the map, you'll absolutely dominate your enemy team. The other thing about Trench is there is a little Easter egg on it at the back, but there's a Verdansk-like bunker which you can open by collecting various numbers placed around the map. If you want to see a tutorial on how to open up the bunker on Trench, let me know down in the comments below and I will put a tutorial up on the channel very soon. But you can go into spectator mode and you can have a look what's behind the bunker. It seems to be a load of teddy bears or soft toys congregating around a table, looking like they're planning something extremely sinister. And then there's another door which you can look through, and there's a big teddy monkey thing behind this door with the Juggernaut suit on. So I'm not quite sure what that means at the moment. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with this map in the next coming weeks, whether it's going to open up or whether you can open it and then use the Juggernaut on the map. That would be quite fun. I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to keep you updated with what's going to happen with Trench. Well, well, well. Look what we have here. An old friend. An old friend of mine is back in Call of Duty. We all knew it was coming. It was in the game files. It's even in Verdansk in the form of Boneyard. And if you've played all the games Modern Warfare 2, you'll know the map Scrapyard like the back of your hand. It was one of the better maps on the game, and I'm very glad they brought it back. They haven't done anything to the map. It is pretty much exactly the same. The one thing I've noticed, now I'm not sure whether it's nostalgia or I'm looking back with rose-tinted glasses, but this map seems to play slightly slower, and I'm not sure that's a result of Modern Warfare 2019, or is that the player base now takes the game a little bit more seriously. They don't want to die as much, they try and slow the game down. So I'm not quite sure what's happening. I need to play the map a little bit more to find out what's going on. But my first impressions is it's a classic map. There was nothing wrong with it, they brought it back, they haven't changed it. Don't try and fix something that's not broken. Simple. End of. Fantastic map. I'm glad they've put it back in the rotation, and I'm looking forward to getting some game time back on that classic map. And just like the Warzone section, along with these main features, they've brought in a few updates. Now I'll put these updates up on screen, and I'll also leave a link to the Infinity Ward patch notes down in the description below, so you can check all these out in full later on if you want to. But just going through a few of the major ones, they finally fixed some of the players not receiving their Season 3 emblem. I know that was quite a big problem across the community for a while, so I'm glad they've done that. They fixed an issue where some players were unable to activate a nuke after getting the appropriate amount of kills. I can't even imagine how frustrating that must have been, so obviously that's a good bug that they've fixed. They've also put in a few fixes to help prevent against the black graphical corruption that some players were seeing while playing the game. I've seen a few of these videos up on Reddit at the moment. They seem very annoying. And then one of the updates that definitely needs to be mentioned is that if you're running the specialist bonus, so once you get your 8 kill streak, you will now not only have all of the perks unlocked, you will then activate all of the weapon perks with the likes of FMJ, Presence of Mind, Recon and Mo Money. Just to name a few, you will now get these alongside your perks as well. So if you get your 8 kill streak, you will have all the perks and all the weapon perks. So there we have it, guys. Those are all of the main changes and the main features that have come with the initial release of Season 4. If you found any of the information helpful or you enjoyed the video at any point, leave a like on the video down below. Let me know what you think of some of the changes that have come with this new season down in the comments below. And feel free to subscribe to the channel for all of the latest Call of Duty news, tips and tricks, how-tos, and much more.